We have this spirit who is not harmful to Kim, but kind of just looks at him, and it's very interesting. I like how they set this up. In the first episode, there's also a couple of aspects that really shows us who Kim is, which I really like how they do. They show who he is instead of telling who he is. He helps a little boy escape a abusive situation, and then whenever they're driving through this tunnel with a bunch of spirits, he wants to sacrifice himself to save the other students and his friend, which I really like. It really shows us that Kim is a sweet person who is really going through something that it's not fair. It gives that extra like this shouldn't be happening to him vibes, you know? Before I talk about the scene that introduces the master or Peem, I do want to say that there is a lot of things in here about Thai culture and Thai spiritual beliefs. So if I get any terminology wrong or if I say anything wrong, I am not trying to. I have like looked up stuff to try to figure out like the correct words for things. And Google kind of sucks. So I apologize in advance if anyone sees this and, call me out on it, please. Our beginning scene with Peem, the master, is he is performing somewhat of an exorcism on this woman who is possessed by an evil spirit. In front of a group of students, I might add, which I think is so funny. If I were going on a volunteer trip and someone was getting exorcised, I would leave immediately. Immediately. You're doing this in the town square, which means this isn't like a crazy occurrence. No, I'm gone. Not doing it. Also, I do want to say before we move on, Kim and Peem are two of the most beautiful men I have ever seen in my life. If my wife heard me say this, she would probably murder me. But they are. They're beautiful. I didn't know humans could look like that. So we have the exorcism bit, and we are introduced to Peem, the master. Everyone calls him the master. I will call him Peem. But we are introduced to the master. And Jet pushes Kim forward and is like, yo, try to get his help because you gon' need it. And I think that's very interesting that the master, it's showing his reluctance here, but we do not get clear evidence for why there is reluctance to help Kim. We kind of just see it. Moving right along, episode 2, we have a flashback of Peem and his master. We learn that Peem is all white magic and his master dabbled in black magic and things that he shouldn't have, and his master really encourages him not to dabble in anything black magic. Me personally, we haven't seen anything like this yet, but I think that's foreshadowing in that to save Kim, there might be a moment where he's like, oh, should I use black magic? Should I use white magic? I think that's going to come up, and I'm very interested to see if they weave that in. Right away after the exorcism, we have that flashback scene, and then we have a scene where the village is kind of under